What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. We got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking support your parks. Uh, got a Canadian special guest coming in to talk about what he's got going on. He's got some cool stuff going on for support your parks. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Really quick, going to do a real quick shout out to the Patreons. And before I show them, I did want to say thanks to K3MRK and Hyken and Hammond. They are the newest Patreons. They are not on this list yet because my laptop is going to crap. It's been absolutely giving me fits. I tried to update everything right before the stream, and it kept shutting off. It's been shutting off during activations left and right. So I'm going to have to try to come up with a new laptop between now and support your parks because I cannot deal with laptop shutting off during activations like that. It's did it for like 3 days. So matter of fact, everything donated tonight will be going to a new laptop instead of Huntsville. But here is the third quarter. Big change in things. Of course, Kurt's still sitting at the top, but Toby come from nowhere off the board to second place, and David Davenport popped up in there into fifth place. So a little bit of moving. Special thanks to James Jenner and Toby who donated off of the streams last week. I appreciate you guys very, very much. All righty, let's get things going. We're going to bring out the Tanknician and our special guest. What's going on?
How's it going?
I'm here, man. Just fighting with the stupid laptop. I'm ready just to bash the thing. Like I know probably there's somebody in the chat who's noticed that in the middle of an activation, I'm like, all right, guys, hold on, I got technical difficulties, and then I go on like a 3-minute hiatus waiting on the laptop to come back up, and then I was like, all right, QRZ, and then it's right back again. But it's absolutely annoying. It'll just be doing fine, and you can't do nothing no more, and you got to shut it down. And now it's doing it during edits. I'm going to have to get a new laptop. But anyway, other than that, life is good except for working a little too late to get an activation in between work and the stream. So that means I'm going to have to do a really late activation tonight for me. What's going on, James? Mr. Quiet?
Oh, I'm just, is it Friday yet?
Halfway.
I was ready for Friday. I mean, I don't get to do what I wanted to do. My plan was to go for the most QSOs this time, but I was going to go out of state and work a forfer because that's pretty much the only way I can compete with people that's working forfers and fifers and, dual radios and everything else. But now I've got some family obligations that I've got to stay in state. I will be working, I'm going to say out of the 48 hours, I'll be doing 44 of them. Okay. I'll be gone to a family obligation for like 4 hours. And I'm trying to get it moved to the park where I can do FT8 then. But other than that, but it's not going to be enough to compete with all that rigor in a row doing one first anyway.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, man? We ain't seen you on the show in a while. You've been doing that activating thing when we're on the show or you're in a meeting.
Yeah. Tom and I have actually done a couple of impromptu robes. We went down and did 10 parks. I messaged him at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I said, "Hey, you want to do a robe tonight after I'm done with work?" And he was here, and we jumped in, and about 4.5 hours from leaving my house to the last contact, we had 10 new to us parks.
Nice.
So it was we've got my ham sticks tuned up, and it's pretty easy. Just pop it out and screw it on the top of the truck, and go to town, and there's enough loyal hunters, namely Toby, of course, Toby and Larry, and I'm hoping they're gonna help me this weekend too, because the biggest trick to doing a speed robe like that, especially when you have two operators. So we're talking, it's two contacts, and you want to get in and out. Um, and our hunters are very loyal, and they know the flow, and they work with us and help make that possible. So um, that kind of spawned this plan that I came up with for this weekend. I decided that I'm probably not going to be able to compete for most QSOs because of a certain Canadian who likes to do 3-furs and 4-furs. I'm personally not a big fan of using 3-furs and 4-furs as multipliers for an award, but that's just my own personal hang up. But so I figured I'm not going to be able to get most QSOs in Canada. So what could I do that would be fun and exciting? And my wife will deny it, but she came up with an idea, and I kind of ran like all the way with it. My POTA anniversary was July 2nd, a couple of weeks ago, and it was a long weekend. July 1st is Canada Day, July 4th being Independence Day. So it was a long weekend. There was no way I was going to be able to do anything fun at parks, and I was just going to be fighting crowds and all that. So he suggested I just double up and do something interesting for Support Your Parks to kind of, and also my 1-year POTA anniversary. So she'll deny it, but she's the reason I came up with this crazy idea. And the idea is to hit a minimum of 48 parks in 48 hours for Support Your Parks weekend. I actually have 69 or 70 parks mapped out. So I may have to skip some because of crowds or access or whatever. Because I'll be hitting some of these parks. I'll be hitting prime time, weekend, early afternoon, which is when a lot of them get busy. So I've left myself some opportunity to skip parks. And also, if the timing works out and I'm a little ahead of schedule here or there, there's some extra parks I can grab. So I actually have it mapped out for your viewing pleasure.
Really quick before you go out to the map, thanks a lot to David Davenport for the pizza. That is money toward the new laptop for this weekend to keep me on the air. So, and I see some new people out there in the chat tonight. If you're here for the first time, I appreciate you guys. I don't remember seeing Can't Remember stuff here before, but good to see him. He hunts me quite a bit, and even now he'll say his call sign normal, and I'll still say Can't Remember stuff. It's just too much fun that way.
I'm assuming that's something for CRS.
November 4th, yes.
Okay. I hadn't heard that call put that way, but now that's gonna be stuck in my head because he hunts me quite a bit as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know how my pal is, and one night that's what he just remembered. Can't remember stuff, and it just stuck with me, sort of like quiet, no talking.
Yeah, it's like King Kong's 2 bananas.
Yeah.
Now I just hear bananas, and I know who it is.
So yeah, good stuff. So you got a map for us here. Let's bring this up.
So this is sorry, I chopped off my there we go. So in theory, the blue spots are Friday evening. So I'll be starting out here at Indian Point Provincial Park. I'll be there for 8 o'clock and working my way back towards home, which is over here. Gray ones are potential optionals depending on whether gates are open and or timing. Green is my intended Saturday plan, and red is the Sunday group. So
what is that in the top left-hand corner above the red? Is that
right
gray?
Here?
Is that gray?
That's gray.
Okay, that's a possible.
Yeah, those are possibles depending how my timing is going.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of them, like this gray one here, it's right in the middle of a path to hit, but it can be tricky sometimes. That particular one can be tricky to get in and out of if it's busy. So I'll more than likely hit that one. So a lot of the timing is a lot of it's based on some of these close at 10 o'clock. This one here, which is a local to us, they technically close at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can't activate from their front entry drive, which is also park property. So um, a lot of it's going to have to do with when I'm on the radio and if there's hunters available. I will use FT8 if it gets too late and the normal 40-meter crowd isn't around. I will pop to FT8 in order to get a park in, but I'm hoping to keep it mostly sideband. So it's and most of these are parks I've already done multiple times. There's a couple out here out west that I've never been to, but another one of our local activators, they were at those until a couple weeks ago when he went over. So Tom and I did a rove over this direction, B3THR and I. We did a rove over this direction one day a couple weeks ago. So we know most of these parks as well. So I'm pretty confident that barring any major issues, I should be able to get to at least 48 of them. I've already been told by Vance, N3VEM, that I am potentially fighting for second place as a rover. That the chance of me getting first place is pretty slim already. So apparently there's somebody last year did 56.
In Canada or overall?
Overall.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and tell you where that battle's at overall. That will be Justin Sly and Bill Brown in Florida.
Yep.
They're looking at over 60 parks apiece. So Justin got 54, I think, last year, and got pulled over. So he's got some extra time.
Yeah, that was exactly who I was warned about by Vance.
Yeah,
was Justin. So the upside here is that my route means I can either keep going and take a nap in my truck. I'm a small guy. I can sleep on the back seat of my truck, no problem. So I could potentially go, except for a couple of 2 or 3 hour naps, or I could sleep in my own bed, get some good sleep. And, so I have that option because I'll be back to the home base area. I haven't worked out so that I end up at the end of the day, I end up closer to home.
Right.
So we'll see. But like I said, I have, so here, let me zoom in here. This is the 3-fer that Tom and I do a lot. So it's actually a bonus as far as part count. This is a 2-fer here. This one's a 2-fer. Most of about half of these in this row here are 2-fers. And a couple of the ones up here as well are 2-fers. Now those are all 2-fers with the same entity. It's a trail. And actually I wasn't aware, but Tom, B3THR and I were looking over the spots we've been activating and realized that we were on the Bruce Trail, which I've never activated. And so I paid the $35 and bought the official Bruce Trail maps yesterday and looked at them in detail, looked at my history on my phone because I have Google Map Timeline turned on. I looked at the history on my phone, looked at some Street View. I said, okay, I was at that spot when I activated. That was definitely within 100 feet of the trail. So I actually just submitted logs for 997 contacts on the Bruce Trail yesterday, all at once. So I'll definitely tip over a kilo. We have 2 more parks we're actually looking at to see if we were near the trail. The trail goes through the parks, but we have to try to figure out where we were to see if we were in range. So I might already be a kilo there. But that was pretty fun yesterday to find a spare kilo laying around.
So. A spare kilo.
A spare kilo, yeah. It's not something you're going to say very often, right?
Yeah, it's always nice to know when you hit a spare kilo.
A spare kilo, yeah. I can't compete with you with your almost 10Ks in a park. Like that's just a whole nother level.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still haven't technically done it because of the rain last weekend. I still am setting it around 100, a little over 100 away. Uh,
You got
and
don't do it this weekend because I got to be your 10K because I was your 1K there.
what about Friday before Support Your Parks?
Like before 8 p.m. Yeah, I mean possibly.
Like around lunchtime ish.
Oh no, I'm working my day job until I might be able to sneak out around 4 o'clock. Of course, nobody heard me say that on the live stream on YouTube. But yeah, no, I picked my Friday start point because I can get there around Friday traffic. We have crazy traffic here because everybody from Toronto comes up to the lakes and the cottages for the weekend. So I basically have to, as soon as I can, I have to jump and get ahead of traffic. Coming back the other direction at night won't be a problem. That's the other thing. My route, I'm trying to avoid going with all the traffic before and after the weekend. So, yeah, no, I'll be lucky if I'm on air before 6 or 7.
Okay, so here's my thing. You've got this big, heavy, executively laid out plan here to do this, but yet you say you want to be my 10K. How do you plan on being my 10K contact when you got to break a pile just to even do it?
Well, it's easy. It's called private spotting.
Listen, I've tried private spotting. It does not work for me.
No, it really doesn't.
Like literally, because I mean, I'll be honest. My people who follow me in Discord get the first spot typically.
Yeah.
And I will spot there first, but I'm going to say 6 times out of 10 that I spot in Discord, somebody who's not even in Discord throws their call out first, and I haven't even spotted yet.
Yeah. That's become a regular occurrence. Even when I didn't realize I was going to activate the other night, but I got done what I needed to do in the evening, and so I went and met Tom at Victor Echo 0400, and was that one? Yeah, it was that one. And they were like, people are already waiting, so it's I've had that happen too.
Yeah,
people spin the dial and they come across us and they jump in, right? Like,
and it's like they know my voice. Like, once I say is this frequency in use, it's over.
Well, I mean, I've done that to you 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that famous one we talked about a couple times where I was looking for a frequency to activate on, you were looking for a frequency to activate on, and I heard you say, "Is this frequency in use?" And my answer was, "Well, it was going to be, but I guess it's yours now." Because you asked first, right? I mean, there's a time I had to tell Hayden to shut up and stand by because I was waiting.
That's right.
I was waiting for Toby. Yeah, I wanted to make Toby my first contact with my Canadian call, right?
Well, it's really funny because I've been kind of preparing a little bit for Support Your Parks. Doing the whole multiple band thing every evening. I've been doing that for like 4 or 5 days now, and these guys are patterning me. Like literally, when I say okay, I'm hopping bands off of 40. I just say I'm hopping bands. They immediately tune over to where they think I'm going to be on 60 meters because I typically go to one of 2 frequencies on 60 meters.
Yep.
And they're sitting there just waiting. And, it's really cool because every night for like the last 5 nights, I've got more than enough to activate a park on 60 meters. So that's always cool. And then I go to 80. And then sometimes I go to digital 80 and 40, FT8 and FT4. So if you're like out there on these really late hours during this weekend, and I'm setting with Signal, you can always message me for contacts because I've got multiple band access.
Yep. Me too.
I mean, I could probably almost activate you.
Yeah, there's so in this run, there's a couple of, depending if I get some of the optionals, there's a couple of Atnos, um, and there's 7 or 8 new to me, but most of these have already been well activated. But um, yeah, if it's ones, especially if it's our our go to favorites around the area, I don't care. But if I'm doing on FT8 or whatever, or, if I'm band hopping with 2 people to get it done, like this to me is, it's about getting 48 parks in 48 hours, not 48 activations. I could do that a lot easier if I just did activations, because I could do the same parks 2 days in a row, right? But I'm looking for actually 48 parks, and I'm really hoping to stretch that to be more, potentially my entire list if I get really lucky. So, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna. I'm building a little desk to attach to the back of my seat, and I'm mounting my DX10 to that. It'll be plugged to the battery, and I just have to get out, screw the hamstick on, and turn the power on. Probably retune every time, but I will do that for the ones that I can be in the truck and be legal. There's a few I have to actually walk away from the truck, so I'm gonna have the 991 in the backpack with the 20 amp hour battery, and that way I'm not disconnecting radio, and because every minute of repeated work is a chance of not getting that activation in the time slot. So I'm allowing myself 30 minutes at a park, and some of these are not going to take me 30 minutes to activate. So I'm hoping that those ones that I can do, especially in the, Friday nights can be relatively easy to activate in like 5 minutes. Everybody's going to be, hanging around waiting. And I should be able to activate the first 3 or 4 parks, within 7 or 8 minutes of keying up the mic. So I'm hoping to gain some time on those, and that way the ones towards 2-3 a.m. Eastern, they're going to take a little longer. I have the time to kind of absorb. So, but yeah, that's the plan, is actually have both radios, not necessarily operating at the same time, but just have it set up in the truck, so I don't have to do all the swapping all the time. So, and also reduces the risk of breaking a power connector in the middle of, on park number 35 or something, right?
Are you bringing more than one battery, or what size battery are you bringing?
Yeah, so my main battery in the truck.
Nice.
And it weighs about 50 pounds. And then
that's about 100 amp hour.
Actually, what is the classification on it? I don't think Tom and I ever. It's a sealed lead acid.
Oh, okay. So it's probably about 40.
62 pounds, it says. It doesn't. It actually doesn't have a amp hour rating on it. It wouldn't for the application it was originally for. But yeah, I got that from Tom. But I have 220 amp hour LiFos, right? So
okay.
Yeah, I'm and I'm not going to do what I did last week, and that is show up to an activation with a half dead battery and end up going QRT by accident because I didn't bring the charged battery, and I was an hour from home, and I'm like, I have a pigtail in the truck, with the noise filter to run directly off my truck battery, and I've got a big cold weather deep cycle. It'll take the hit of running 100 watts for a couple of hours without starting the truck. But I was like, I'd have to pick up from the picnic table, and like, I'm gonna have to go and switch out the coax because my 35 footer, I'm gonna have to get the 50 footer. And I was like, you know what? Bonehead move. I've got an activation in. I had 60 contacts or something. And I was like, you know what? So that's it. I packed up and went home. And, half those contacts I was chasing IARU stations in Europe. Like that map, you should see that map. That map is like half my contacts are in Europe or South America, which is very unusual for an activation for me.
Really quick shout out to William Collins, who hit the tip jar. Appreciate it very much. That will go toward the new laptop fund for this weekend. And also, because you mentioned backpacks, I wanted to say shout out to the PP man who got me a new QRP backpack for my
Very
818.
nice. Very nice.
Came in the mail today. Appreciate it, PP man.
So you know about the backpack I'm designing for my setup, right?
I don't think we've talked about this.
Oh, okay. I swear the last time I was on we did. But
Okay, maybe we
yeah,
did.
it's I'll show it on camera. Maybe. Gotta turn off the blur.
Here, let's see if we can make you bigger.
Yeah, we can stop sharing the map too. I think everybody's done with that
Yeah,
excitement.
the map's gone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so basically this is the inside pockets.
Oh yeah, you did show me
I
this.
do
Yeah.
remember this.
So I've actually figured out how to do the outer shell because the idea is it just kind of opens up, right? So I figured out how to do the outer shell. I'm talking to an old friend of mine from high school. She makes custom bags.
Oh,
So I'm talking to her about the techniques of how to get, because some of those, like, you can't just stitch those. You can't just stitch those pockets. There's no way to get a sewing machine, into those slots. So I'm talking to her about how to get that done. So we will see what she says on that. But you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to take you off, and it's there. You go. Thank
I
you, Hayden.
gotcha.
I'm telling you, I'm getting like I'm ready to chuck. If you guys see me just disappear off the stream, Hayden and James will keep going. I'll probably just chuck this laptop.
It'll just turn to an RFing party, and so much for HRAC.
Like dude, you have no idea. Like I'll have 50 and 60 people in a pile up, and then I'm just gonna stop and like, all right, guys, I got technical difficulties. Hold on, and I got to totally restart the laptop. And it just started this week. Of course, it's Support Your Parts Week. The week I don't need to be buying a new laptop. So, but I mean, I'm just getting a cheap one for this weekend until I can figure out what's wrong with this one. But
I've got a whole. I'm trying to find one of mine. I don't know if you can do this. This pile right here on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
That's about 8 laptops. One of those has to go to my wife, but hopefully one of them is going to go to B3THR because he wants to throw his laptop into a tree at activations. I mean, I'm sure all of you have heard stand by. We have logging difficulties. That's generally Tom's laptop doing something it's not supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then it would do something weird, but I mean, this is just like it. You can't move the cursor, you can't type nothing else. I mean, it's just totally frozen. You can't Control Alt Delete. You can't do nothing but hit the power and restart it.
All I can say is if you want a more reliable laptop for POTA, use Linux. Don't use Windows. Don't use Mac. You can customize it to the level of there's nothing running you don't need to. If you jump on random Wi-Fi, like my wife's Windows laptop, if I hotspot to my phone, it says, "Oh, I have Wi-Fi. I can do updates," because it doesn't know it's a hotspot Wi-Fi. Like, and you have to go manually say, "Don't do updates right now." And of course, by the time you think of it, it's too late. So, just there's some nice. I'm a big proponent of Linux to begin with, but like, you can do your POTA a lot faster and a lot smoother on a cheaper, smaller, less powerful laptop because you can really thin down what's running. And you got Hammers that runs, WSJTX runs. I mean, it depends on your logging software, right? Like if you're stuck on a particular logging software, it might not be an option for you. But
I don't know if mine has Linux or not, and I am stuck on the software. It's
yes, you can use Linux with your software.
I can. Okay.
I believe so.
What do you log with?
N3FJP.
Really?
Is there another name for that one?
N3FJP? Mm-hmm.
Isn't it AC log?
AC log.
That's what some people call it, but it AC log covers a couple of different logging things.
It is Windows, Windows, Windows.
Windows, Windows, Windows. See there?
Oh, is it Windows?
Yeah. See, this is what's kept me from having a unified logging software at home. All my logs are just individual pod activation logs. I don't even log my hunting at home anymore because it's just not a hammer's log.
I mean, that could possibly be the problem too. Is I have so many POTA logs stored on the laptop that it's just like saying, "Dude, stop! You're killing me."
Yeah, a couple of
Right.
versions back, that was a really big problem. I would only have 10 or 12 and before I'd remove them out of hammers, but I don't see that problem with the current version anymore since he rebuilt the database backend.
That's what I do at home. I've got a Ham Radio Deluxe for my main log, and then I just dump all my hammers logs into that once I get home from doing it.
Curtis is absolutely correct. Wind blows only.
Hey, it's done its job up until this point, which I'm not going to blame Windows. I feel like the screen has some sort of short in it because it's if the screen gets bumped a little bit is when it normally does it. And
David, Indy 8, Hotel Indy 8 Delta Lima. I have it uploaded to QRZ or Logbook of the World since December because I have to do so much manipulation on the logs to. Yeah, I've got like oh man, I think I have almost 1,000 pending confirmation on QRZ.
Really, there are probably 995 of them is mine.
No, we haven't worked that much.
We have more than that much.
You're not that big of a deal. But you're in there definitely. I turned off the email notifications for those because it was just hammering the crap out of me.
Well, I'm sure because I mean if I have a hotspot on my phone, if it's working, if I've got signal, and I'm not doing a rove. Now, if I'm doing a rove, and when I say a rove, that means a timed me getting out there, and I'm not saying me going out and doing 4 parks in the evening, which is what most people do call a rove. But to me, that's me being out in the evening playing parks on the air.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a timed rove, I don't do it. But other than that, if I have hotspot on my phone, I get done at the park, and I edit my log right there. I then send it to QRZ. I take from QRZ and upload the Logbook of the World. And if everything looks kosher, I send it to Parks on the Air right there. And people's got their contacts half the time before I'm pulling out of the parking lot.
I actually got an email the other night, semi-sarcastic, but it was Kilo Charlie 1, Oscar Charlie Alpha. Hunts us all the time. And he emailed saying, I forget the exact wording, but basically, you were so slow uploading the log, and he had taken a picture and highlighted the times, and it was like 15 minutes after the last contact. And I emailed back and said, sorry, I had to eat my burger first. Usually I upload like last contact in, pull the turn the power of the radio off. I go and I upload. You got to remember, I've been lucky. I've been one of the beta testers for the self uploader for several months now.
Right.
So I've had the pleasure of having to roll back 55 logs in one time because we found a bug and re-inject them. So you guys are welcome for not having to do that. I did that for you.
Thank you very much. I used it this weekend. It was great.
Yeah. I was on a dev call, and we're like, they pop up, and a couple of the devs like, yes, we found a bug this morning, and it shows you 99 contacts, but it skips the first one, so you only have 98 in the database. I'm like, seriously?
Believe it or not, I found a bug while I was doing beta testing.
Yep. We had quite a few people find bugs, and it was great. So the final rollout to most of the users was I know you found the bug. The normal. We had a few of our normal, very high, high activation count people added pretty early, and everybody provided
And,
some sort of feedback. It was
and
really nice.
I will say shout out to the dev team because I found that bug and I turned it in, and the next day the bug was gone.
Yeah. We were
Wow.
having constant conversations the last month leading up to that release, pretty much 24/7 of did we get everything? New bug report. Now I personally didn't have anything to do with the uploader itself. A couple of the other guys actually worked on that code. They actually were working on it from before I joined the team. So they put a lot of work into it, and all I did was abuse the crap out of it and try to find as many bugs as I could. That was my contribution, and I got really good at deleting and re-uploading logs. So
Yeah, I kind of wish that we could delete and re-upload our own logs.
yeah, it's for right now that's going to stay with. We're still going to have log managers, and that's going to stay with the admins for various reasons. But that's possibly something that might come back up in discussion later on with the admin team. But
Or at least just be able to delete it and resubmit it.
Well, that's what I mean.
yeah.
Okay.
So you got to understand when you delete a log, there's a whole bunch of backend processes that happen.
Okay.
So let's say, middle school, somebody throws a temper tantrum, gets mad, says, I hate POTA and all of you and screw you. And they go delete all their logs. Interesting. V3THR is calling me. Stand by.
He's like, son, I'm in the park. Where are you?
Tell them we all said hi.
He's on. He's on mute and he's laughing.
Yeah. So that self-uploader was pretty neat. I finally got to use it for the 2 activations I did in West Virginia, and it just seemed like not even a minute, and everything was uploaded, and all my records were updated. And
I've loved it since I started beta testing. I've loved the thing. I did find that that one bug, and they, like I said, they fixed it immediately. So,
well, what was the bug you found?
What it was doing was like not going by UTC day. It was going by actual day. So
okay, I remember you talking about
like
that.
If I did an activation tonight, like right now, which is tomorrow's UTC day, and I tried to upload it before 12 o'clock tonight, it'd kick it out. It'd give me errors. But then at exactly 12:01, I could hit submit, same exact log, and it'd go right through.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was talking to Austin, Kilo Zero Alpha X-Ray Lima. I believe he is in the chat tonight. He is one of our Patreons as well. But I was trying to figure it out that night while I was uploading, and then we tried it after 12 o'clock, and he like it wasn't 2 minutes later he got his contact. So really good stuff right there.
Just told the WV.
Yeah, that's right. Watch YouTube and chase it at the same time. Listen, that's what we do in the Patreon after chat. And by the way, Patreons, the link is in the Discord chat and in the Patreon chat. And Sandy, if I know you're out there watching tonight, if you have any issues, shoot me or Hayden a personal message real quick, and we'll get you to that link because I know you've been trying a couple of times and having issues.
I'm good on QRZ, Sandy.
We'll get you in there. So Patreon's the link is out, and we'll be in there after chat, and you all get to hear me fussing about my laptop all evening, I guess. But yeah, I'll be there if I don't lose a signal.
So how is Tom?
He's setting up for an activation.
Nice.
He's actually being the guinea pig. We're trying to figure out. So there's going to be 5 or maybe 6 of us from our local club out this weekend, and we're trying to decide whether we're going to do it as a club. But the club activation guide and log submit, like that whole process is a little unclear to me. And I was even looking at the code of how the QSOs are analyzed and getting credit and all that. So he was calling because he's activating as the club tonight. So we're gonna use him as a guinea pig to see if that does come out the way it's supposed to. So
Nice.
Delta Lima might actually know because he's doing Hotel India 8 POTA all the time.
What's your question? Actually, I mean, I've done club
So
activation.
so like I'm gonna do 48 or more parks hopefully. Tom's hopefully going to do possibly a couple of Atnos. Our other Tom B3YTN is going to do some activation on the weekend, and a couple of our other members. So there's 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all members of the club. So we were just talking about, we could do a club thing and basically activate a bunch of spots in Ontario all weekend, right? So the question is, when we upload to the club account, will it give us all our own personal credit for everything and show up as our own? It should. Well, that's what Vance is telling me. But I don't like. I don't want to go out and do 48 parks.
It always has me.
Okay.
I understand that, but it always has me. Like, as long as you are listed as the operator of the logs you turn in.
Yep.
You'll have, the call sign will be the clubs, and then as long as you have you as the operator, it's always done right for me.
Yeah. Yeah, David, that's exactly what Vance clarified for me as well. So yeah, anyways, Tom is going to do one. We're going to log it under the club account tonight and just ease all of our minds that it's going to work the way we think it does.
Yeah. And yeah, like when you get to park, you have to do the club call and your personal call.
Yeah.
So
you might hear Victor Echo 3 Great Canadian Beer all weekend.
Great Canadian Beer. I like it.
GCB, yeah. It's actually Georgian College Berry is where it comes from, like, I don't know, 40 years ago or something.
Okay.
It's our local college, but Great Canadian Beer. I mean, it's when people can't understand us on field day, that's what we say, and they get it every time. So I actually Old Virginia Hams OVH was one of the field day. And they had a pile going on, I want to say 40 meters. Whiskey 4 OVH maybe, but it's Old Virginia Hams, and that's how they were saying it. And I could not get through the pile, and I finally said, it'd be great with an Old Virginia Ham, Great Canadian Beers. I got right through it. So so that's our club call.
That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Great Canadian Beer. I love it.
I hate beer, but it is what it is. But our beer is better. So what can I say?
You say hot beer?
No, our beer is better.
Oh, I thought you said hot beer. I was like,
no, we're not British.
You're just a masochist, man. It's actually great to see Hotel India 8 Delta Lima in the chat there. Because
he's been messaging me about that, and we're trying to track that down because now I'm not the guy to talk to about missing park to parks because I have 1,700 park to parks missing.
Oh.
Because of the /BE3.
Oh yeah.
Thing. So
I also have a ton of park to parks missing because of an issue. It's slowly being recorrected, but basically every log that I've ever done is slowly being resubmitted. Up until July of this year is being resubmitted, and I'm typically averaging. Yeah, I actually have way more contacts than I have because I'm typically averaging about 6 to 10 more contacts per activation when I send them in.
Nice. So I feel sorry for the park to parks. Well, I just found out I had this twofer with the trail. Obviously, any park to parks I did for those don't know it was a twofer.
So they won't be turned in.
they won't get credit for the second one, but at least they'll get it as a hunter, right? It just won't be a park to park.
Right.
But
right.
that, you know, these are the things that happen in programs like this. You can't make it perfect because, like, you know, there's too much. There's too many different people, too many different places, like, and the rules for parks and trails, and you know, we're always trying to advance the science, and
But
you know.
but the reason I was saying it was great to see David in the chat. They were actually on Clubhouse last night, and they were talking about getting DX on 17 and this and this. They're like, you don't get DX on 40, and I'm typing in the chat.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
do.
I came to Clubhouse late last night.
Like, I mean, I've got Spain, I've got Dominican
I got
Republic.
David got me on 40 the other night.
Yeah, David got me the other night too. I mean,
yeah,
I get all kinds of DX on 40. I don't want to hear it.
I looked at Tom. I'm like, was that our Delta Lima? Is that the normal Delta Lima when we heard him? So like 40.
Because I mean, I was just on there the whole time because I was literally in the park watching Clubhouse while I was packing up and leaving and going to another park. But right before, like up until 2 or 3 minutes before Clubhouse, I was activating, and they were in the screen room and they were all hunting me. All the guys, like I literally got. It started with Steve. I got Steve first. Then I got who was after Steve. Joe was last. I know that. Don was second. Then Daniel, and then Joe. And Shane never got me. Again, Shane's not in my log, so I always give Shane a bunch of crap, and he's like, you can't get me. You need to go to 20. You can't get me on 40. And I'm like, dude, I have covered the whole state of Texas.
I get November 5 Hotel Alpha almost every night on 40. Like, well, Shane's not that far away.
Well, he's not in Texas, but I get like,
no, trust me. Where Ken is in Louisiana and where Shane is in Texas, it's only a couple hours apart, and it's flat. There's no big difference.
I guarantee you, I have been all around Shane because. I mean, well, even Mike, I've got a text on my phone where Mike's like, dude, you got me from my house. That's awesome. I got such a high noise for it.
I've got the same exact message from him.
So, yeah, he gets excited when he hunts from his house and gets somebody, especially, you know, a good one like that. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of Patreons out there in the chat tonight. So I better have a big after chat tonight, even though I'm going to run you guys off kind of early because I got to get an activation in. I'm jonesing, man. There we go. Mr. Kool-Aid himself.
Is that GQ?
Yeah, that is like he helps me make the batch.
Yeah, I'm one of these days I'm gonna get bored one day, and I'm gonna parse all my logs, and I'm gonna figure out how often certain people are in the first 10 at every one of my activations. Like I know Toby's almost always in the top, in the first 10 to make an activation, but like how often does she probably is the bell curve on that one?
Oh, I guarantee you she is on mine.
Yeah.
Because I 9 times out of 10 Toby's number one, and when it's not Toby, it's typically some random person that just was scrolling through the dial.
Yeah.
Larry is always in my top 10 just about. Every now when he's not in my top 10, I'm like, I wonder where Larry's at, and then he comes in like 71st or something, you know.
Yeah, every once in a while he does have to mow his lawn, you know. He's not sitting at the radio all the time, just most of the time.
Dude, stick an antenna on that mower. Come on.
Oh man, I'd hate to know the RF coming off of a lawnmower.
He even sent me messages and said, how many parks are you doing between work and the stream? And I was like, just one. But I wasn't planning on working over. I was planning on getting one in. So then I had to go back in Discord and be like, no activation until later tonight. So
yeah,
he's been racking up the con. I'd say he's close to that 500 mark now because he's been doing a lot of the 40, 60, 80 nights with me. So
Well, I can give me a moment. I can tell you where he is.
here we go. Moment of truth.
All right. Just
I know Toby's done there.
well, Toby. Last time I ran the
Oh,
math,
Toby.
what she number one?
Oh yeah, Toby doesn't receive the. Well, she hasn't received it, but the coin is in the mail for Toby. So
Excellent.
yes, she finished first. But I know Larry's close now. He's got to be.
So when do you issue the coin? What's the threshold?
Well, the first person that got to 500 got the coin.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bill. I still have the Park to Park Street going. Even though I didn't do one after work, I did one this morning before work and a late shift last night. I've got 2 in today already. Well, 2 in before late shift started. Oh yeah. Listen. I would have quit my job if it was going to cost me to miss my streak, Bill. Come on now. You think I'm going to let you get it and me not? So
is that NYM? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's your real competition there.
Oh no, he's not competition. We're just both going to get it. Larry says he needs 2.
Well, let's see if Larry's right.
So Bill is the one to be watching K4NYM for that Rove. Bill, won't you put it in the chat how many parks you plan on doing this weekend? Let's see what your
yeah. Bill, are you shooting for something crazy?
Yeah. I thought for sure he had it last year. I really did. When they were getting ready to announce it, I was like, it's going to be Bill. It's going to be Bill.
Yeah, so Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta 536.
Wow.
And V3 LBI 498. He's right. He needs 2.
He needs 2. So
Eddie's in 3rd place.
Where's Eddie at?
Eddie's at 480. I'm not even on this. I've got to be up here somewhere.
I like it. Bill says he don't want to tip his hand, but he is after KN4M. He's after Justin.
He didn't have 60 parts. He had 56. Vance and I actually looked last night. That's why. That's why Vance told me I'm probably fighting for 2nd place.
He's going for 60 this year. You're fighting.
Well, like I said, I have 70 mapped out, and I have you got to understand something,
dude. I don't even want to do support your parks. I want to get in a helicopter and just fly around, and do video footage of Bill and Justin and James all doing this stuff. I mean it's going to be actually crazy.
So I'm going to.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have roved with Bill when Bill is doing his NASCAR stuff, and he knows what he's doing.
I'm going to share another map really quick.
He said, "Good luck with 70." He says he's going to rove till he drops.
So do I. So I'm going to rove until I drop. But the question is, I'm a little young. I might not have the stamina you have, Bill. All right, so
Bill's got stamina. He just forgets the people's call sign that he's with when he's roving that long.
So I'm gonna do a quick flip here. So if you want to show this is my planned rove, right? So we already saw this. So I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip the other one so you can see this in context with. I got to share a different tab. You can see it in context with the parks in the area. and just outside of those rows,
Oh,
I
wow.
have 40 more parks that are a couple of hours of extra driving for 40 more parks. Like I have 100 parks in reach, but I would have to have like 4, 5, 6 minute activations at a lot of parks in order to have the time to do that because I don't have a driver, right? So I don't. It's not like somebody's driving and I can take a snooze, right? Or eat my sandwich while I'm in between. I have to do those things for myself. So um, that's how I was trying to talk you into coming up, James.
Yeah, when I said my plan for the weekend is a bust, he's like, "Hey, won't you just come and do 48 parks?" I'm like, "Well, the reason my plan's a bust is because I can't leave West Virginia." So,
Yeah.
but
One time you'll get up here,
well,
and you and I are
after
going to go on a rove and get you like 30 or 40 Ontario parks in a
after
weekend.
after looking at that map, maybe that might be my spot to come to next year for Support Your Park because next year, whoever of the three of you, you or Justin or Bill, that wins, you guys might as well just forget it because next year the king is coming.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Well, so I'm gonna reshare the map and go a little south
Uh-huh.
and show you. Now they're hard. Some of them are hard. So you got the map up?
Yep.
Okay. So this is Buffalo over here. I mean Buffalo, Niagara Falls. So this is just on inside the border. So like this is Hamilton where VA3CP and
Larry.
LBI live, right?
Yeah.
So even between Hamilton and the border, even between Hamilton and the border, that's like 50 something parks. By the way, all these green ones are not at nodes. I haven't updated the stats in a while. They're not all at nodes, but there are still quite a few at nodes over here. But even this little loop here, Hamilton to the border, like it's you could drive. I mean, look, just driving. You could drive from Buffalo to Detroit. I mean Detroit. You could just drive through. A lot of truck drivers do this because it's the most efficient way to get between New York and Michigan. You could actually just do that drive and get like 30 or 40 parks. So like the parks are not. This is Ontario. Parks are not the problem.
Wow.
A lot of these green ones up north you can't get to unless you want to walk. So
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our neck of the woods right here, Barry. So and Larry is just here in Hamilton, so they're usually good for a short hop 40. So Larry's always booming in.
Yeah.
It's just this far enough away.
Larry always has a great signal, but you guys need to get him a better 60 meter antenna. He's light on 60.
Yeah. So all right, well we'll stop sharing, but yeah, it's I have 100 parks within easy reach, but to actually be able to pull off activations.
Okay, when you say easy reach, what kind of hours are we talking?
To be able to drive through and get to inside of 48 hours.
Okay, 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. In 40 hours, I could easily, like, there's parks I'm knowingly skipping because I know they're just not going to be feasible for me to get in and out of quick. Even though they're on the route, right? So, but yeah, I've got to update it for a couple, but like I hate spreadsheets, and I made a spreadsheet that's like, here's the parks in the order I think I'm going to do them, when I need to be there, 30 minutes plus drive time, when I'm going to be at the next park. And this is how I'm going to know whether I'm sort of ahead of schedule, whether I can slide in some of those optionals along the way, right? So,
hey, how about it, man? Carry it up. I hope you do great. I hope everybody does great, and just like they said, be safe out there this weekend. You know, try not to get the speeding tickets. I did cost Justin some parks last year, so
Yeah,
you know.
no. Some of these roads, if you speed, you're going to turn into RF. You're going airborne. I think I'm going to spend about 2.5 or 3 hours of my drive time out of about 13 hours of drive time on this route. I think I'm going to spend about 2.5 or 3 on gravel or dirt-ish. Because like some of our roads, like to get from one town to another, they're not paved. These little hamlets we have. So
I live in West Virginia. What's a paved? What's a
paving?
What is it? What is a paved road?
Yeah.
Oh, is that thing? Is that thing that we got that's got all the holes in it? Yeah, you know how to tell when somebody from West Virginia is driving drunk, right? They drive straight because they're hitting all the holes. They're not weaving to miss them.
That's pretty much Detroit too.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time to wrap it up. We have popped our hour, and I want to get my Patreons in here for the after chat because I got to try to get out tonight and see if I can get Larry 2 more contacts. Larry, watch the Discord. If I can run these guys out of the chat tonight, I'll get out there and do it. Sometimes that's harder said than done, though. But Patreons, the link is in the Discord and the Patreon. So go ahead and hit that up. Everybody else, well, we know what's coming up with James. He's doing Support Your Parks. Hayden, what's coming up with you?
Well, I'll be out in the park Sunday, and I'll be hunting James and all you guys Saturday.
Right. Everybody make sure and hunt me the most. That's the most important thing you can take from this stream tonight. Hunt me the most.
If anybody gets me at every park this weekend, I don't know what, but there will be something special for you. I don't know what could possibly match getting me at 48 or more parks, but if somebody gets me at all 48, there will be something special.
I'll tell you what. Whoever gets me the most this weekend will get a challenge coin. Besides Toby, because Toby's got one. Toby, I'll give you a shout out, and the next person will get the coin. Whoever gets me the most gets the 3rd challenge coin.
Yeah, I could do that. Whoever gets me the most, I'll do something for you. Yeah. I don't have challenge coins. I'm not that cool.
Yeah.
I could send a friendly beaver your way to, chop down your trees for you. I don't know.
I mean, you could send somebody some barbecue chips or something.
So does everybody know that happened? Like I missed half a clubhouse. Was it discussed at all?
Oh yeah, it was discussed. There was pictures. There was
Oh, I missed my own joke. Damn.
Yeah, that was.
Don't diss on the barbecue chips. I'll set up a monthly delivery for you.
So just so you know, I really cannot stand ribeye and New York strip steaks. They are horrible. I would never eat them, James, ever.
No, I'm a barbecue brisket, barbecue pork butt.
Oh yeah, I hate those too.
Okay. Yeah,
I like a good sirloin every once in a while.
Yeah, you're not getting a monthly steak delivery, James. Like I see what you're trying to do there, but no, barbecue 35 $35 for a joke I can handle. I thought about having one delivered, like a weekly delivery, auto delivery on Amazon. But I'm like, I'm just gonna send them a whole case. So,
good stuff.
Yep, I love. So I used to actually build smokers, and like I grew up in Texas. My dad's boss was quite a pit master, and growing up around, we always had barbecues at church and work, and we had a lot of barbecues. So like we'd have to get up at I grew up on a farm, and we'd have to get up at like 2:00 in the morning to go make sure that it was still, we had to reload the wood because it was a big trailer smoker, right? Like it was a huge old thing. We'd have to go out and make sure it had wood at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because we were doing a 48-hour smoke in the thing, with thousands of dollars of meat, right? So,
all right. Anyway.
Roger McCann says, "Nice try, Jay." Oh, probably for you trying to get free steak out of me. Yeah, it's not. I can't afford the conversion on steak right now Canadian dollar is not doing so great.
I'll tell you what else I would just hate it if I got sent to the if somebody sent me a Yaesu 710 in the mail, like I would be so angry at them. Like I would probably, curse them daily. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks everybody who bought the pizza. I hope to catch everybody on the air. Whoever gets me the most gets a challenge coin. And if I'm doing the activation and I say please hold for technical difficulties, that means I didn't get a new laptop. Other than that, Patreons, we will see you in after chat. And 73, everybody.